It's recording. Okay, so let's begin. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshcha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamshcha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhishta Kripa Sandhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I thought nobody would come today because it's a quiz. Still, even though devotees are less, generally online there are 15 to 20 people. Today there are 8 devotees online, including me. You all can hear me, right? Those who are online?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. It was expected. But it's okay. So the others can hear the recording. Okay. So how many of you all could go through the chapter? Okay. So you've gone through. Those who are online, how many of you all could go through the chapter? Param, you went through it? You had time? He raised his hand. Okay. Vasanti Mataji? Not completely, Shantara. Okay. Just read through. Okay. No problem. Kajal Mataji, you could go through?
No, Prabhuji, I have not gone through.
ठीक है.
I'm attending after long. I'll just listen today.
ठीक है. No issue. वेदिका माताजी, आपको टाइम मिला? ठीक है. Sharwani, you could go through. You have the book with you?
No, Prabhuji, I don't have.
Okay. ठीक है. Okay. So basically online, Param Dayalu Bro, Shantaram, and Vasanti Mataji, you could go through it. Vasanti Mataji. Anyway, she's not able to hear. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, you went through the.
Hare Krishna. Audible?
Yeah.
I tried it, but it is very difficult, Prabhuji. It is not going through.
Okay. Okay, but at least you.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
No problem. At least you went through. That is good enough. Okay. So what we will do is we'll have like a quick quiz, and after the quiz, those of you all who have gone through the entire chapter properly, and anyone who could actually make like a flow chart. Anyone tried it? The entire flow of the chapter? You tried? flow chart. Okay, ठीक है. Pushpa Mataji also you could try little bit. ठीक है. So once we do like a quick quiz, those who have done the whole chapter can explain in brief the entire flow of the chapter. Yeah. So the whole idea is because this book is a little technical, before we get into the next chapter and more philosophical points come up, it's nice that what has been discussed we can at least digest it a little. Okay. The first question is to Shantaram Prabhu. Shantaram, you're there?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm there. Hare Krishna.
Very well. So, what was the name of the devotee's house in which Lord Chaitanya stayed in Jagannath Puri? Whose house he stayed?
Kashi Mishra's house.
Kashi Mishra's house. Very good. Very nice. Thank you. Vasanti Mataji, you can try this. It's a simple question. What was the place where Haridas Thakur used to stay? What was that place called? Vasanti Mataji?
Siddha Bakul, Prabhuji.
Siddha Bakul. Good. So something interesting is in our Sharon land we have 6 or 7 Bakul trees. So so those who want to
Jagannath Puri.
chant. Yes, correct. Good. So you all can come and chant under a Bakul trees. Beautiful flowers. What they call that flower in Konkani? Bakul flower.
Bakuli.
Bakul. Siddha Bakul tree. Siddha because Haridas Thakur did a lot of tapasya there. That's why it's called Siddha Bakul. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Okay. So the next question. What are the 3 principal energies of Krishna? Pushpa Mataji. You all can look in the book also if you all want. Pushpa Mataji will answer. So I'm going in a sequence only. So the answer will be initially only.
Sri Krishna Prabhu.
Wait, Param Dayalu Prabhu. Wait. Yeah. Then let Mataji try. Okay. Yes, Kangana Chandru. Correct. Chid Vaibhav, Achit Vaibhav, Jiva Vaibhav. So what does Chid Vaibhav mean? Spiritual potency. Spiritual potency. Yeah. Achit Vaibhav is matter, material. And Jiva is the living entity. Marginal energy. Correct. Okay. So Vikram Prabhu, what comes under Chid Vaibhav, spiritual power? Yeah. So basically, it's all correct. So basically, what comes under spiritual powers or the Chid Vaibhav is Krishna's abodes, starting from Vaikuntha, Krishna's holy names, Krishna's forms, Krishna's qualities and Krishna's pastimes.
Pastimes.
Pastimes. Yeah, Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Okay. So what comes under, okay, before Bhaktivinoda Thakur starts to explain Achyut Vaibhav, he explains Shuddha Sattva and Mishra Sattva. So Param Dayalu Prabhu, what is Shuddha Sattva and what is Mishra Sattva?
So the sattva is it is not mixed with the passion. It is Suddha Sattva means all Vishnu avatars under the Suddha Sattva. That is Karnavadayaka Sai Vishnu and Chirodayaka Sai Vishnu and Chirodayaka Sai Vishnu, Karnavadayaka Sai Vishnu and Garbhodayaka Sai Vishnu. All are comes under the Suddha Sattva. Mishra Sattva is the mixed with passion and ignorance. All devatas like Shiva and Brahma are comes under Mishra Sattva.
Correct. So he says Shuddha Sattva means pure goodness, untinged, untouched by passion and ignorance. So Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Vishnu and all the Vishnu Tattvas come under Shuddha Sattva. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that even when Lord Vishnu takes avatar in the material world, even though he's in the material world, he is still Shuddha Sattva. Krishna's name, form, everything, even though it is in the material world, it is Shuddha Sattva. It is not mixed with passion and ignorance. But all the demigods, Shiva, Brahma included, Mishra Sattva. Shiva and Brahma may have lot of trace of goodness, but little trace of passion, ignorance is there. We know that story of Bhrigu Muni, Bhrigu Muni going and testing Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So that clearly shows that trace of passion, ignorance is there in Brahma and Shiva. Very good. Mohini Murthy incident also correct. So then he explains Achyut Vaibhav, material energy or Maya Tattva. Radha Prem Mataji, what is Achyut Vaibhav? Gautam, you could go through it, Gautam Bro, through the chapter.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good. Okay. Behra Prabhu, Nishit Prabhu, you could go through it.
Achyut Vaibhav, Prabhuji, I should say.
No, wait. I'll ask you.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Mataji, Achyut Vaibhav. Yeah, material energy. Yeah. So what comes under material energy? How does Bhaktivinoda Thakur explain? Yeah, try.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah. No. They are Jiva Tattva. So material energy. Okay, I'll come back to you. Praveen Chetru. Yeah. Correct. And very good. So he says first that it's made of, this material energy is made of 5 plus 3. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. Okay. What else comes under material energy? You want to try? Karishma, what else comes? The 14 planetary systems also come under material energy. Correct. So this is how he explains Achyut Vaibhav, material energy. Correct. Material potency is also shadow of the spiritual potency. Correct. Now, Jiva Vaibhav. Gautam Prabhu, what comes under Jiva Vaibhav?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah. The Jiva Vaibhav is the individual spirit soul. The individual spirit souls are tiny fragments of our spiritual potency.
Correct. tiny fragments of spiritual potency. Okay. What else is explained?
Prabhuji, for Jiva, the individual soul, it is like all of us who are individual souls and who possesses the free will.
Correct. So
And it is said that
individual souls possess free will.
there are infinite number of individual souls, and they
Correct.
are basically they have their own desires to find pleasure.
So he explains that individual souls are spiritual by nature. They are unlimited in number. They have free will, and all of them are motivated by the desire to find pleasure. That's how he explains spirit soul. Okay. Ujjwala Mataji, did you get time to read the chapter?
Hare Krishna.
Ujjwala Marathi Mataji, did you get time to read the chapter? Okay.
Prabhuji.
You got
Yes,
time?
Prabhuji.
You have read?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. Very nice. Trisha, did you get time to read the chapter?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, I've read, but I'm still at work. So in between, if you ask me, I might not be able to immediately answer.
Okay. Okay, I'll not ask you, but I'm happy that at least you read it.
No,
Okay.
but if I feel like enthusiastically answering and I'm available, then I will definitely like raise my hand or type in.
Okay. Most welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
Ujjwala Mataji, can you tell us what are the two types of living entities? Ujjwala Mataji, you're there, na?
I'm not sure about it.
You're not sure.
No.
Behra Prabhu, you would like to try two types of living entities?
True, Hare Krishna, not true.
Yeah, Dindal.
Two types of living entities. Prabhu, can you give me what is the first one? I'll tell the second one.
Prodi is telling, tell me the first one, I will tell the second one.
No, I'm not getting it. Chit and Achit, that is.
No. So
The
basically,
question is
two types of living
entities.
So we are discussing Jiva Tattva now. Chit we have already discussed. Material and spiritual energy we have discussed. Now we are discussing marginal energy, Jiva Tattva. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains there are two types of living entities.
If I'm not mistaken, two types of one who is very much, he is devotional. He is always devoted in the service of the Lord.
Okay.
And the other one who is not. Yet both of them get the mercy of the Lord.
Correct. Okay. So somewhat you are correct. So he is saying one is devotional, other is not. Yeah. But anyone else would like to explain very clearly?
Yes, bro. Mukta Jiva and Baddha Jiva, bro.
Okay. Mukta Jiva and Baddha Jiva. Okay. So Param Dayalu bro, how does he explain Mukta Jiva?
Mukta Jiva is always association with Krishna. He is a liberated soul actually.
Okay. So Bhatt Prabhu, how does he explain conditioned soul? Who has turned his face away from Krishna. Bahir Mukha.
From Krishna.
Okay. So what happens to this conditioned soul? He gets
Turning away
entangled
from
in
Krishna, he
Maya.
enters the realm
Correct.
of Devidam.
Yeah, correct, Chandra. So he enters into the cycle of birth and death, and he wanders.
Continually wanders in the world.
Correct. Pious deeds, he keeps wandering. Sometimes higher planets, sometimes lower planets.
Sometimes lower plane, 84 lakh species.
Correct. So now, actually, the name of this chapter is Glories of the Holy Name. So Haridas Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing. They are gradually building up to come to the point of the Holy Name. So he explains till your conditioned soul. He explains that even though the conditioned soul has turned his face away from Krishna, still Krishna's mercy is there on the conditioned souls. So how is Krishna's mercy there on the conditioned souls? Shantaram Bro, you would like to try?
By the direct and the indirect method, Prabhu.
Perfect, perfect. By the direct and indirect method, he says. Okay. Krishna's mercy is there on the conditioned souls. So before we go to the direct method, what are the indirect ways in which Krishna's mercy is available? Gopal Swaran, like to try? Wait. I'll ask, then you all can answer. Yes, Karishma Mataji. What? Okay, so Karishma Mataji says, yeah, Krishna's mercy is there. So he has created Dharma, Yagya, Yoga, Homa, Vrata. Okay, but all this, see, that's what I told you to make a flow chart. So Krishna's mercy is there on the conditioned souls, but it comes in two categories. All this is there, but it is for one category. Karma Kanda. So basically, Krishna's mercy is there in indirect ways, in two ways. One is those who are following Karma Kanda, and the other is those who follow the Jnana Kanda. And for those who follow Karma Kanda, okay, so who follows Karma Kanda? Who follows Karma Kanda? Materialist. For what? For
Material desires.
So for the living entities who have turned their face away from Krishna, such people who want material desires, Krishna has made the Karma Kanda section in which there is Dharma, Yagya, Yoga, Homa, Vrata, like that, in order to satisfy their desires. Now, this is one indirect way. What is the other indirect way? Jnana Kanda. Okay. So who takes to the path of Jnana? Those who want the impersonalists, those who want liberation. For such people, Krishna mercifully has made the Jnana Kanda section of the Vedas. Okay. Yeah. So people who get frustrated with material enjoyment, they want to get rid of this cycle. They want to attain liberation. For such people, the Jnana Kanda section is there. Very good. Okay. 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 So next very important point. He explains 3 kinds of pious deeds, 3 kinds of sukriti. What are the 3 kinds of sukriti? Just name them. What are? Okay. What are the 3 kinds of sukriti? Balyan bro, 3 kinds of sukriti? No. Gautam bro, 3 kinds of sukriti, 3 kinds of pious deeds. Yeah, okay. Yeah, very close. Almost, yeah. Anyone would like to try 3 kinds of pious deeds?
Following the Varnashrama Dharma.
Okay, then?
One pleases the Lord is a mixed with karma.
Yeah, you can answer, yeah.
And also associating with the saintly persons.
Okay. This is in the footnote. Who's that? Trisha? Yeah, Trisha, yeah. Tell me.
The 3 kind of pious deeds are bhakti, jnana, and karma.
Perfect. So the 3 kinds of pious deeds are bhakti, karma, jnana. So karma due to pious deeds due to karma, pious deeds due to jnana, and pious deeds due to bhakti. So pious deeds are not just one category. So it is bhakti unmukhi sukriti, pious deeds due to bhakti, pious deeds due to karma, and pious deeds due to jnana. Okay, now the follow-up question of this, highest is bhakti. So now, if someone has pious deeds due to karma, karma pious deeds, sukriti due to karma, what he will get? But true. What will be the result of it? Yeah, the result of it is he will get
Material happiness,
हाँ,
higher planetary systems, higher
correct.
planetary
So he will
systems.
get results of his work, which can be higher planet or a better birth, like that. So if someone has sukriti due to jnana, what he will get?
He will
He will go
merge
to
into
Brahman.
the Brahman.
He will go to Brahman. ठीक है.
But it will be
And if
shunted.
some correct, stunted liberation. And if someone has pious deeds due to bhakti, bhakti unmukhi sukriti, what he will get? He will get faith in devotional service, Shraddha. So this is footnote. If I don't know whether the page number matches for every book, so it's page 33 footnote. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that those who do pious deeds due to bhakti unmukhi sukriti, they will get Shraddha, and their faith in the process of devotional service will begin.
So the unknowing activities of your devotional service seem to be.
Okay, so now the next question. Okay, so now we discussed two indirect paths, like Shantaram Ru mentioned, two indirect paths. One is due to karma and one is due to jnana. What are these two paths called? What are these two paths called? Indirect devotional service. So one is called karma mishra bhakti. Bhakti is there, but karma is also there. And the other is jnana mishra bhakti. Okay? So now, for those who follow the path of karma mishra bhakti, how does Krishna help them? How does Krishna elevate them? Those who follow the path of karma mishra bhakti? So what will happen if they follow?
They will get only material.
Devotees. They will association of devotees.
Association of devotees. So yeah. So basically,
Bring them.
correct. So page 34, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, if someone is following karma mishra bhakti means varnashram. So whenever the mention of karma comes, it is generally varnashram only, varnashram dharma. So when someone follows varnashram dharma along with association of devotees, so then what happens? Slowly their heart gets purified and the faith for devotional service comes, Shraddha comes, and they switch. Such a person switches to pure devotional service. From indirect devotional service, he comes to Shuddha Bhakti. Okay. So now if someone is following the Jnana Mishra Bhakti, the path of mixed devotional service due to Jnana, how does Krishna help him? How does Krishna elevate him?
He will get liberation.
Yes, Bera bro.
We will get liberation too.
No, Krishna, yes, if he is following Jnana Mishra Bhakti, just not Jnana path. The Jnana Marg is without Bhakti. But if someone is following the Jnana Marg and he has little Bhakti also, Krishna, text 35, page 35 explains that Krishna thinks.
Attains faith in.
So Krishna thinks that, Arey, my servant has fallen into the clutches of Maya. He is running after impersonal liberation. So I will bring
also, Prabhu.
Yes, devotee's mercy also. So such a person is brought back to the path of devotional service. So Krishna brings such a servant back. Okay. So now, okay, the next point that Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains is that in Kali Yuga, the path of indirect devotional service becomes very difficult. Which path? Indirect devotional service. Mishra Bhakti ya Gauna Pata. Mukhya Pata is the direct path. Gauna Pata is the secondary path. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that in the age of Kali especially, the path of devotional service, the indirect path becomes very difficult. Why? This is a little difficult answer, but anyone would like to try? Why he says it becomes difficult? It has become corrupted. Why it has become corrupted? Can you
We have
explain?
become distracted by all the material.
Yeah.
We have
So,
become distracted
Krisha,
by all
Krisha, you
the.
can try.
Yeah. So we have become corrupted because we are so distracted. The hold of Maya is very strong in this yuga, Kali Yuga. And we
Okay.
have become very distracted with material wants and desires.
Okay.
So um, it like we very easily do not come in association with say devotees or people performing pious activities. We are drawn more towards easy sense gratification. uh, I mean, I'm just trying.
It's also a point. He quotes this verse: "Age is life is less." Sorry. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that how the indirect path is filled with a lot of obstacles in the path of, especially in the age of Kali, because even if someone is trying to follow the path of Jnana, there are so many hypocrites that come. Like, we have so many people who want to seek spirituality, but then when they go into the spiritual market, there are so many hypocrites. They just get, that means Kali Yuga is such a difficult yuga. First of all, very few people are interested in spirituality. And those few people who are interested in spirituality, most of them come in contact with a wrong guru. And if you have had one or two experience of wrong guru, such a person he becomes completely disinterested in spirituality. So that's why the Jnana Marg is also very difficult. And then he explains that even deity worship is very difficult like that. So what remains in Kali Yuga? The easiest way is the Mukhya path,
No.
the direct path.
Nam Sankirtan.
Nam Sankirtan is the direct path. Correct. So then that's how he explains that how the path of chanting is actually the direct path. So then he explains how in the path of chanting Harinam, the goal and the means
Goal
are the
and
same.
name.
Okay, can someone explain how is it that the goal and means are same in the path of bhakti, in the path of chanting? What does it mean? Yes, Paidungatpu. Correct. Correct. Process and gain is same. Like in the karma marg, the process is karma kand, but the aim is heavenly planet. The aim is different. In the Jnana marg, the process is Jnana kand, and the aim is liberation. But in the path of bhakti, especially chanting of holy name, the process is also bhakti, the process is chanting, and at the end, we want chanting only in the spiritual world. So that's why the goal and the means is the same. So that means what we are going to get at the end after reaching the spiritual world, that is already given to us right now. The same process you go and do there. Yeah. So we are getting trained for the same process. So the duties are not going to change. The activities are not going to change. So once you go to the spiritual world also, the same activities will go on there. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Swaranam also goes on there. Sevanam, everything. So in one sense, it's what we are being offered. It's exactly what goes on in the spiritual world. Exactly. 1 minute. Personal interest, correct. There's no personal interest. Correct. Correct. So that's why if you remember the same point, so Ranganathan who's raised a very nice point. He's saying in the other two, in the process of karma and jnana, there is personal interest. But in the path of bhakti, there is no personal interest. Because in the path of karma, you're thinking about your desires. And in the path of jnana, you're thinking about your liberation. But in both the places, Krishna is not there only in the picture. Even if Krishna is there, he is just a person to get your desire fulfilled. But in the path of bhakti, you are thinking only about Krishna's pleasure. That's why, if you all have noted very clearly, he says that in one of the places, he says, Karmi Jnani Ubaye Ye Krishna Bahirmukha. So he says, Karmi and Jnani both are non-devotees. Both have turned their face away from Krishna. And only devotees have turned their face to Krishna, and only devotees experience the sweetness of Krishna's service. Kabu Nai Aswadaya Krishna Dasya Sukha. So they don't experience the bliss of service. That is only available for devotees. So in this way, he concludes concludes this chapter.
Yeah, Prabhu,
Anyone else? Yeah.
No, Prabhu, I remember the example that you had given. If anyone wants to see gold, he was asked to take the steps and to see the
Correct.
gold. While coming down, he saw the steps. So I think the process.
Correct. Perfectly correct. Any other thoughts, comments, or questions? Correct.
Here also, we are doing for Krishna's pleasure.
Correct.
There also personal interest is there now. You want to serve Krishna, your pleasure.
For Krishna's pleasure. Definition of Uttam Bhakti, Anya Bilashta Shunyam. No other desires. That means desire is there, but desire for Krishna's pleasure.
There it is sense-giving.
Ha. Correct.
Condition so certain the great treasure of love of God.
Hmm.
One thing I ask you, when the thought of devotion service comes, activity of devotion service comes to this, where the devotion service comes after he gives a blessing.
So good question. Balyank was asked. When does those who are following the path of Gyan or Karma, when do they take to the path of Bhakti? Is that the question? So in both the points, is made it very clear that only by the mercy of devotees. So only when a devotee enters, then the path of Bhakti, he slowly shifts to the direct path. So it only happens to the path of Bhakti. Or as he defines, Bhakti Unmukhi Sukruti. Because if you have pious deeds due to karma and jnana, you will get that destination. But only when you have Bhakti Unmukhi Sukruti, then that faith and devotional service starts. It remains mixed bhakti, but exactly. Shuddha Bhakti, correct. Anything else? Those who are online also, any questions or any comments? Anything else you would like to add, share?
Simply by chanting and remembering, the condition only will deliver. The page number 33.
Correct.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
The Bhakti, the devotion activity is performed by one, you get about 57.
Verse 57.
No, 57.
Correct. Yeah.
Devotional activity is performed by one who is eager for devotion of meditation. That who is that the soul association of devotee.
Correct.
Next one, the faithful person who associates the Lord Krishna devotee attains the taste for Guni. He becomes merciful to other souls. He walks on the path of devotion.
Correct.
First is the service, then only the taste for candy comes.
Correct. So that's how in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Madhurya Kadambini, those stages of bhakti are explained. Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhavu, Prem. So our goal is prema, love of God. But it starts with faith, Adau Shraddha. But that faith, how does it come? How is it that someone has faith in bhakti, others don't have? Because before the stage of Adau Shraddha, there is Agyata Sukriti, Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. Unknowingly, he has done devotional service. He might have had some prasad, some devotional service in this life or in the previous life. That also happens through devotees' mercy only. Some devotee has given prasad, something has happened. So those agyat sukriti builds up and it comes to the point of faith. That faith. And that faith leads him to sadhu sangha. Previously, devotees have been searching for him. But after that faith comes, he starts to search for devotees. He starts to associate with devotees. So sadhu sangha, then bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, nishtha, and then slowly it builds up to the point of prema. So that is the journey that is explained. Yeah. So the taste, it comes after service. Once you do bhajana kriya, after anartha nivritti, then ruchi. Taste comes after that. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. In this part, bhakti, yes. Yeah. Effort. Yeah. So basically, and he also says that anayase, one easily attains the goal. Yeah. So the question is, how is it so? So the point is, it is compared to the other process. Compared to the other process, the path of bhakti is very easy. Kevala Ananda Kanda. Compared to the other processes. Like in dhyana, Vishwamitra Muni meditated for 60,000 years. And in that also 1 or 2 slips, the entire thing got waned. Entire thing, went down the drain. He has to start all over again. But in the path of bhakti, it's not like that. The amount, the result that we are getting, the result is prema. Prema is much higher than liberation. It's far, far superior than liberation. So we're getting the highest result with little effort compared to the other processes. In the other processes, there's so much effort involved. So compared to that, the effort is very, very less. So, exactly, it's not effective also. So in that sense, in Kali Yuga, the obstacles are very less in the path of bhakti. Very, very little obstacles, because Krishna makes it very easy. Like even in the 12th chapter, Arjuna is asking Krishna the same thing. Krishna has explained devotional path also, and the path of the Gyanis. So Arjuna is asking which path is better, the path those who worship your personal form or those who are impersonalists. So Krishna makes it very clear that those who are on the impersonal path, their path will be filled with too many obstacles. But those who worship my personal path, it's much more easier. Exactly. It's part of the purification, basically. It will go, yes. Yeah. Like Srila Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. No, but it is chant, little struggle, and then be happy stage will come. Silent. Dhyana. No, because it is because for that age, for the path of for the age of Satyuga, that was the Yuga Dharma. So Krishna gave, but even in dhyana, I mean, it's not that this is not an impersonalist kind of dhyana. Dhyana also means ultimately dhyan on the supreme only, on the Paramatma feature. Lord purified them and gave them the treasure of devotional service. Hmm.
in spite of the fact that they were doing that. So Lord had to purify them and give them devotional service. Why does he say that?
Yeah.
If that was the right process, Yuga Dharma at that time. The Yuga Dharma this time is chanting. At that time it was dhyana. So one would go to devotional service on its own path.
Yeah, good question.
But he's talking about.
I'll try to find out and tell you.
He's talking about.
Very good question.
In the end, Krishna's mercy is required for anything.
Correct.
So, question, can you explain, Prabhu?
Okay, so Prabhuji's question, Ranganacharan's question is, this is text 69, where it is explained that in Satyuga, the sages performed Dhyana Yoga and the Supreme Lord purified them and gave them the treasure of devotional service. So Prabhuji's question is, either the Dhyana is Mishra Dhyan, Mishra Bhakti, and Krishna purified and gave devotional service in spite of that being Yuga Dharma. So the question is basically whether the Dhyan mentioned there is mixed devotional service or pure devotional service. Yeah, I think it has to be mixed only, technically. Exactly. Anyway, I'll find this and I'll tell you. What is that?
This is only Kalika, Varnashrama, Dharma, Sankhya, Yoga, Jnana. No power to deliver the previous Yuga it was there now. Previous Yuga it was
Correct.
operating properly now.
Yeah.
That was Yuga Dharma.
Yeah. So Prabhuji's question is, if in Satya Yuga, Dhyana Yoga was a Yuga Dharma, so then why is it mentioned that Lord gave them treasure of devotional service? So that I'll find out, Prabhuji. But one thing is very clear that the dharma, dhyana and deity worship and yajna, in Kali Yuga it became impractical because the Kali Yuga people are short life, lot of miseries and everything. So therefore, the only process that works is the process of bhakti. Correct. 72.
Can I come in, Prabhu?
Yeah, yes, Shantara Prabhu.
But it still means that they are indirect process. No, that is not a direct process. It mean that they have the indirect process for direct process, giving them devotional service.
So can you repeat that again?
What I mean is, Prabhu, that Dhyana Yoga comes under indirect service.
Dhyana Yoga comes under indirect, correct? Okay.
And devotional service will come under direct service. So what it can mean that Lord
how do you
or direct?
Yeah. So that means we are trying to say that direct devotional service is only available in Kali Yuga. To say that will be like a wrong proposition. We can't say that direct devotional service is
in Satyuga also it means the same, no, Prabhu? It can be
chanting.
Yes, we are saying that Dhyana Yoga is invalid in this Yuga, but in Yuga it is valid. But still, they have to come to a direct service platform in order to attain moksha, spiritual life.
Could be, yeah. Yeah. But then what about the Dwapar Yuga when it is deity worship? We can't call deity worship indirect, na?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a valid, nice question. I'll try to find out and I'll get back. Yeah, that's what. So whether the dhyana in Satya Yuga is Mishra Bhakti or direct Bhakti, that's the question basically.
Prabhu, Dhyana Yoga means meditating on Supreme Lord only, na Prabhu?
Dhyana, correct. Inattentive chanting. No, it is devotional service only. But then that's what we will.
purified them. Yes, we purified them only to do 100 chanting. That means because of that.
It could be something like that. It could be.
Process we complete.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah. So it could be something like that. When people do dhyana yoga or any particular yoga, what it means that Krishna purified them and gave them treasure of bhakti means Krishna purified them and then actually gave them that real wealth. So when he says Nija Bhakti Dhane, he actually gave them that treasure. He purified their heart and then finally made them actually qualified for that. Like chanting we do, first it is Nama Bas. We will be discussing the stages. First Nama Bas and then Shuddha Nam. So it may refer to something like that there. Yeah. Yes, bro. Yeah. So basically, we are discussing from this book. We may have different understandings. So then it's important that we verify those understandings based on the books. So we are still in the first chapter. So when we keep discussing, things will become much more clear. He in one chapter, as he goes ahead, he discusses what is the position of Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. All this comes very detailed in this chapter. So we will see it ahead. Okay, so let's stop for today. Anyone else online has any questions or any comments? Those who are there online.
In Satya, you were telling about meditation.
Correct.
Whoever are doing meditation, that is about Vishnu and Krishna only, they will get the pure devotional service.
Correct.
Otherwise, if you meditate on demigods, they will not get na Prabhu.
Correct. So in Satyuga, Yuga Dharma's meditation means on Krishna only it is.
Krishna and Vishnu only, then only they will get the pure devotional service.
Correct.
In each and every yuga, whatever you do, yajna or deity worship and names of Lord and meditation, about Vishnu and Krishna only you will get the pure devotional service.
Correct. Okay, anything else? Okay, so we'll end for today. So most probably the next week we will continue from second chapter. Okay, so second chapter is chanting the holy name, Nama Grahana Vichar. So that we will see the next chapter next week. Thank you very much for joining in today. And I would like to congratulate all of you all. I think most of you all clearly shows you all have gone through the chapter, which itself is remarkable because being technical subject matter, reading Leelas is easy, but reading a philosophical technical book like this requires patience. But then very nice, and especially those who have, I'm seeing Matajis who have made notes, done flowchart. These are very important things which will actually help you all. So if you can do similarly for every chapter, making proper flowcharts, the book will become very clear for us. Okay, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the word.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
It is versatile for all-room cleaning. Captures hidden dust that traditional cleaning leaves behind.
मिस्टर कपूर के साथ दो बार दोनों एक दूसरे से प्यार करते हैं तो शादी में उनका बाल विवाह इलीगल है